Hi everybody, it's Grandma Pastor Tam, and I am so glad to see you all again today. Hey, today we're going to do things a little bit differently. So, I hope you're ready because we're going to start out like usual with me giving you your list of things that you have to go grab. Remember to ask a grown-up if it's okay, and you may need to ask a grown-up to help you grab everything. And then we're going to do our project together, and then you're going to help me tell the story. Are you ready? Okay, here's the list of things you're going to need. First, you're going to need 4 little people. And they don't need to be anything specific, just whatever you have around your house. So I found a Pez dispenser, and I found a little Fisher Price person, and I found a McDonald's Happy Meal toy, the Mama from The Incredibles, and I found a Minion. You can use whatever you want. Now, here's the thing. If you don't have any little people that you can use, you can make your own, okay? And there are lots of ways that we can make people. You can make people out of toilet paper rolls. If you don't have any toilet paper rolls at your house, you can make them out of cardboard. I used an empty cracker box, or you can use an empty cereal box. You can use a popsicle stick. Doesn't have to be a fancy person, it just needs to be a person. Or I think that's it. Okay, ready? The other things you're going to need to make your people are some oogly eyes, if you have them. And if you don't have oogly eyes, a marker. You can always make eyes with a marker. I chose a brown marker because I have brown eyes. You might have blue or green eyes, or gray eyes. So you'd like to choose a marker to match your eyes. You can choose whatever you want, okay? The other thing you might need is tape or glue to stick on your googly eyes if they don't already have sticky on the back. Now, you're going to want to pause, hit your pause button. Remember, it's the little button with the lines on it, and go get all your stuff. So ready? On your mark, get set, go get all your stuff. Okay, are you back with me? Now, I'm going to move my camera, so you're going to have to be patient with me because I'm going to take you down to my work table, and I hope you don't get dizzy while we're moving down to the work table. Can you see? You can see a cracker box. Okay, now you'll see on my cracker box, I used part of the box to make another person, and I already put my eyes on my person in case we use that person. And I cut a little hole in that box like that. So if you happen to have part of a box left over, you might want to do that because we're going to use that later. But I'll set that aside for now. And I don't need my tape anymore, so I'll set that aside. And I don't think I'll use my oogly eyes. But I did put some brown eyes on my popsicle stick. So you can see I have my popsicle stick person and I have my cardboard person. You can see I just kind of cut my cardboard person out to look kind of like a little gingerbread person. Now if you need to pause your phone or your computer or your television a minute while you cut out people or while you put eyes on people, that's fine. So go ahead and pause and make your people, and then come back when you're ready and we'll keep going. Okay, are you ready? Now, choose your 4 people. Now you can see I have a lot more than 4, and that's just fine, but I'm going to choose my 4. Are you ready to choose your 4? Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. you're also going to need a piece of paper or a tissue, and we're going to cut strips. And if it's an old piece of paper, that's great, but make sure it's still white on one side. And we're just going to cut some strips like that. And I kind of cheated. I already have some strips all ready for us to use. Okay? And we'll bring the tape back in a minute, so I'll have it ready because we will need that. Okay, have you decided on your 4 people that you're going to use so that we can tell our story together? Now, our 4 people in our story today are Jesus and 3 of his friends. So pick someone that you would like to be Jesus. You know, for my end of the story here at my house, I think Jesus was pretty incredible. So I'm going to choose Mama Incredible here. There we go. It's hard to make her stand up. She's got little tiny feet. But okay, there's Mama Incredible. Let's see if I can raise my camera a little bit so you have a better view of her. So Jesus in our story today was kind of far away from his friends. So let's move him over here. Can you move your Jesus kind of far away from his friends? And then you need to pick 3 of your people to be the friends. So I need 3 friends. Let's see. I'm going to take my little cardboard person, and that's going to be one of my friends. And then I think, okay, I'm going to move my marker out of the way. And then I think I'll take this to be one of my friends. And then I think I'll take this to be one of my friends because they stand up pretty well. And I only have so many hands. So, how are you doing? Did you pick your 3 friends? So you have Jesus over in one place, and then let's move the 3 friends farther away. Okay, you got that? So here's the 3 friends, and they're at their house. Now, I have my thinking cap. Do you have a thinking cap? Sometimes we use those. I'm going to put my thinking cap on my head while I tell my story. And you might want to pause your device so that you can go get your thinking cap if you want it. Because this story begins with Jesus being far away and getting a message from his friends. And I think that he had some feelings when he got the message. And when I tell you what the message is, I want you to think really hard about what his feelings might have been. The message was that when one of his friends got sick, he might die. Now, what do you think Jesus felt about that? First of all, Jesus thought, when people usually get that illness, they don't usually die. So maybe I don't have to hurry to their house. Do you think that was a good choice? So Jesus made his way to their house. La 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 la. And it took him a while to get there. In fact, oops, sorry Jesus. It took him quite a while to get there. Meanwhile, at the friend's house, the 2 sisters, Martha and Mary, watched their brother, Lazarus, get sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. Is your Lazarus getting sicker and sicker? Until one day, Lazarus died. How do you think Martha and Mary felt when their brother died? Yeah, I think you're right. I think they were probably very sad. Well, in those days and where they lived, when someone died, their family or their friends took very good care of their body. They cleaned the body and they put nice, sweet-smelling ointments on their body, and they wrapped them in special cloths to protect their bodies so that nobody would bother them. So this is when I want you to take your special strips. Now we're not using real cloth because we don't want to cut up our clothes or our sheets or blankets or anything. So we're just using paper or tissue. And we're going to help Martha and Mary wrap Lazarus up. Are you ready? We're going to wrap him up in our special cloths. Okay? Now we have to take special care because this is a very loving thing to do when someone dies. Now it's not the easiest thing to do with my little cardboard person. How are you doing with your little person that you're wrapping up? Are you using a cardboard person or a little toy person? Okay, I'm going to need another strip of paper. How about you? I missed his arm totally, so I'm going to start again. There, I'll tuck that in there. Try and get that arm. Oh, I missed his other arm. I think I'll just tear that there and tie it there. Add a little more tape. How you doing on yours? I think this is a little tricky. How do you think they wrapped a real person in cloth? I don't know. Well, maybe just do that leg by itself. How's it going at your house? Are you doing pretty well? How'd I do? Oh, I totally missed his other leg. Well, that's not good. Let's see. There, how's that? I'm going to need a lot more tape. My goodness me. I think that'll do. I think he's pretty well protected. There you go, Lazarus. Mary and Martha, I think you did a pretty good job taking good care of your brother. It shows that you love him very much. So after people were done wrapping their loved ones in cloth, then they were ready to place their bodies in a tomb. And a tomb is kind of like a cave. So Mary and Martha took Lazarus's body and they placed it in a tomb where it would be safe and nobody could bother it. And then they probably had some helpers, so we're going to use a minion to come be a helper. Oh, here. I have another minion who can come be a helper. And they got a big rock. I'll use a toilet paper roll for that. And they pushed a great big rock in front of the door of the cave so that no one could bother it. What do you have at your house that you can use for a big rock? Whoops, those little minions are kind of roly-poly, aren't they? They just like to fall down. And then the helpers went away to their houses. And Martha and Mary went back to their house. How do you think Martha and Mary felt then? What does your thinking cap help you think about that? How do you think they felt that day? Do you think that was a happy day or a sad day for them? And then finally, here comes Jesus. He finally got to their house, but it had been some days, quite a few days that he was on the road to get there. And Martha saw him coming, and she walked down the road to meet him, and she was not a happy camper. And she said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Oh dear. And Jesus said, let's see what we can do about that. But guess what? There was something important in what Martha had just said. when she said, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died, she was saying something that no one else had ever said before. She was saying that she knew that he was God's special helper. She knew it before anyone else did. But Jesus was taking this moment very seriously. And he said, okay, come on, let's go to the tomb. And off they went to the tomb. Mary too. Take your Mary and your Martha and your Jesus. Ready? We're going back to the tomb. And he said, roll that stone away from the tomb. Okay, if you've got any helpers, bring all the helpers. If you don't have any more little people, just use your fingers. They can be people too. Ready? Roll the stone away. And Martha said, oh no, he's been in there 4 days. He's going to be really stinky. Because dead people get kind of stinky, you know. You can't take a bath when you're dead. And so they rolled the stone away. Scoot, 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 scoot. And Jesus said, Lazarus, come out. Oh my goodness. What do you think of something like that? What do you think Martha and Mary thought? What do you think happened? Oh my goodness. Lazarus got up and he came out. Wow. What a day. What an incredible day that was. What an incredible thing to happen. Do you think everybody was so happy? Do you think they had a party that night to celebrate? Do you think they told Jesus thank you? What would you do if you had been there? Now, there's some things I want us to think about when we think about that day. Because you've probably, oops, well, that's not good. Everybody just fell down. You've probably seen dead things before. Okay, let's come back together here. You've probably seen dead bugs or dead birds. In fact, maybe you've had people in your family who have died, maybe a grandpa or a grandma, and you probably wouldn't walk up to a dead bird or a dead bug and say, hey, get up, be alive again. Or if you did, do you think it would really work? Even if you were pretending like you were Jesus, do you think that would work? No, probably not, right? But it happened when Jesus did it, right? So what do you think was different for Jesus? Well, that was a special day. And Jesus was God's special son. And so it worked. So what do you think Jesus wants us to learn from that day when he brought Lazarus back to life? You got your thinking cap on, right? If not, just use a pretend one. I bet you have some really good ideas about that. So I think maybe one of the things we can learn is that Jesus wants you to be healthy and happy in your life. Maybe Jesus wants you to be kind and loving in your life. What do you think about that? Hey, I'm really glad we had this time together. I'm really looking forward to the days when we can get together in real life, in person. But until that time, remember that I love you so much. Be happy, be healthy, be safe, and remember, God loves you always. Bye.